Hello everybody, my name is Kador, and welcome to a music collection video. This is going to be a long one because I've acquired a lot of things since I last made one of these, which is I think over a year ago at this point. So let's just jump right into it. Got a lot to talk about. I'm going to start off with a few things that I've put out over this span of time that I haven't showed off yet. So first thing we got here is the latest Ether tape, Ether being my noise duo that's been going on for a while, and that is, can't really see because of the glare, Janice Fears Dog Sand, which is a weird inside joke between us. But anyways, this is released on Black Ring Rituals, 30 copies I believe, and yeah, it's got a cool like green shell going on with stickers, and then you see the inside. It's got the track list and everything, and a weird little text there that doesn't explain anything. It's sort of like noise core oriented for some tracks, and then like more like, I don't know, power electronics I guess for other ones, some like vocal oriented stuff. A lot of chaos and harsh nonsense going on. Side B is the source material is us like messing around in a junkyard and then just running that through a bunch of pedals. So yeah, pretty happy with the way this turned out. Think they're still being sold on Black Ring Rituals Bandcamp, so check it out there. Next thing I want to show is a tape by my solo noise project, Spatial Absence. Right here, this is released on Communal Deafness, and it had a zip tie like wrapped around the actual tape, so you had to like cut the zip tie to open it. So I just kind of left it in the bag there. But yeah, it's just kind of got this loose J card wrapped around it, and A and B. Yeah, this is just some straightforward noise stuff that I put together. No vocals or anything, just harsh noise pressing between various sections and textures. Pretty dynamic and I guess a lot of various sounds going on. But yeah, just harsh noise throughout. I believe these are sold out, although there might still be some left. I think it was only like 10 copies or something. So anyways, there's that. And then another Spatial Absence thing that I put out is this crazy thing, which is definitely the coolest packaging that's ever been attached to anything that I've released. Maybe next to the next thing I'm going to show here. But yeah, this also Spatial Absence is put out by Fusty Tapes, who I've also released an Ether tape on back in 2018. So this is kind of like my second release on there. Shout out to Jim for doing that. I appreciate it. But anyways, yeah, this is crazy. It's each copy is attached to a different like circuit board piece. So they're all unique, and it's just like tied on with this twine. I'm not going to untie it right now, but there's a little insert here that has the lyrics on it. So this is more like, it's still harsh noise, but it also has some vocal bits, and it's kind of like, just kind of progresses between different sections. So there's some more like power electronics and death industrial oriented stuff too. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out. Just with the packaging and the sounds and everything. I still got some copies of these, and I believe Jim does as well. So yeah, definitely check this out if you get the chance. And the final thing that I've put out that I wanted to show off is this various artist compilation that I actually released on my own label called Denatured Noise. My label is Denatured Productions, so it seemed fitting. So this is like the actual CD, and then each one is like just tied with a rope or twine or whatever to a unique piece of collage art. I basically made this like big piece of collage art on a piece of cardboard and just cut it all up into individual little squares. So there's 50 copies total, and each one has its own little unique collage piece attached to it. So that was a whole project. It was really fun to work on, and just really fun to get in touch with all these different artists from across the world, and just kind of get everyone together. So I guess I'll kind of take this out here, just slide it out, and it's like a slim jewel case. So you see the track list there. I actually got like CD stickers for this one, so it looks slightly more, I don't want to say professional, but better than just scribbling on the CD with a Sharpie, right? So anyways, yeah, really proud of this, and just again, the way it turned out, the packaging, the sounds, it's all just really cool. And it was just awesome to bring the community together like that, and establish a lot of new connections and that sort of thing. I definitely like to do more of this kind of thing in the future. I might do like a sequel compilation like this at some point. We'll see. But yeah, also still plenty of these available. They're on my Bandcamp, Denatured Productions. So yeah, check that out. Oh, also the Bandcamp version has a bunch of exclusive like bonus tracks that are only on the digital Bandcamp version. But I kind of selected my absolute favorites to be on the disc itself. So anyways, with that out of the way, let's get into the rest of my collection here. Guess we'll start with this tape, which is pretty awesome with the packaging, a little skeleton tied onto it. I actually have a little video of me kind of like unboxing this for the first time, so I'll play that now. So this is the original packaging. As you can see, there's a skeleton, and it's wrapped up with wire, and this piece of paper attached directly to just the tape by itself with no case or anything. I'm going to attempt to open it now. I can't even see where like the end of, oh, here we go. Okay. It's so like twisted around. This is gonna take a minute. There we go. Kind of. Wait. Yeah, I did it. Here's a Skelly by himself. And this card says recorded 2021 in Bloomingdale, New Jersey. Yeah, it's just like liner notes, nothing too special. On the other side, it has the, the titles and the track titles and all that. And yeah, a little sticker on each side of the tape like that. And I'm gonna listen to it now. So yeah, very fun packaging. As far as the noise itself, it's not great. It's just kind of like I don't know. It's just noise. I mean, it's not like super harsh. It's a little like drony, I guess, and some pretty interesting sounds and textures here and there. But yeah, just decent, solid noise, I would say. Next, we got Pig Fuck by New Grasping Machina. I think that's how you pronounce that. I've released a CD on the label Mechanical Presence that this person runs. They're really cool, Luke. So shout out to them. Oh geez, the jewel case is like kind of falling off. But anyways, yeah, sorry about the glare. Maybe not the best lighting conditions, but there's the tape. There's the inside. Yeah, this is harsh noise. You know, it's pretty solid stuff. Pretty thoughtful and well put together, I would say. Next, we have a tape by Subservient Dominance called Where Will It End? This is a power electronics artist that I've played with a couple times, and yeah, it's good. It's solid stuff. There's the tape, and yeah, not much going on inside the J card, but yeah, Subservient Dominance, definitely an artist to be looking out for. I got one of their shirts as well. Yeah, just bring that classic power electronic sound. If you're into that, I would definitely check this out. Then we have a split tape between Bison Squad and Chasing Ghosts. Both these artists I've played shows with before, and they're very good. Here's this. Insert track list. Yeah, this is on Mutual Aid Records, and it's a pretty solid split. Just kind of drony, harsh noise, a little bit of death industrial going on the Bison Squad side. Yeah, solid stuff. And then there's another split between two of the aforementioned artists, Bison Squad and New Grasping Machina, and this is on Fusty again, with his classic kind of bag packaging. So it's just kind of like two inserts, and then you got the tape in the middle here. Yeah, again, just really solid stuff. Both of these acts really bring their A game for this one. Bison Squad, just really good kind of death industrial, really heavy kind of stuff. And then, yeah, just really solid harsh noise on the other side. So, good stuff. Next, here is a CD that I got at a show that I went to nearby that Wrong was playing. Wrong is like kind of like a noise rock type of band, post-hardcore sort of stuff. Just really scrunky, dissonant, kind of weird, shrieky vocals. Pretty cool stuff. The Cost of Living is more of like a power electronics type of project. So two pretty different genres kind of coming together here for this split. Pretty interesting packaging with the CD kind of in this little sleeve, and then this bigger bag, and you got all the lyrics and whatnot on the back there. Yeah, I wasn't in love with the material on here, but it's not bad. Just two kind of different approaches to noisy, weird, heavy kind of music. So yeah, cool stuff. Wrong was definitely really fun to see live. All right, next I got a couple 7-inch records to show off. This one is Monochromatic Rainbows. This is a sort of like ambient post-rock type of band that Dustin from Chasing Ghosts is in. And I got to play a show with them where I picked this up. So it just kind of unfolds like that. And the vinyl is in this. If I can, there we go. And it is a clear type of record like that. So cool stuff. And yeah, this is a really enjoyable little single. Just really pretty, kind of ambient, atmospheric rock music, I guess. And then the other 7-inch is by Slacking. This is Roundhouse, a bootlicker. Slacking is another project that I've seen live a couple times. One of the shows I actually played with them. This big like Greensburg Noise Fest that I played last year. That was really cool. I got to meet a bunch of artists that I've known about for a while or communicating with online, but like finally got to meet in person, and that's what a lot of the next few releases that I'm going to be showing off are from. But anyways, yeah, this is a really good little 7-inch single. It's just harsh noise. Features Henry Mallard on side B, who I also got to meet at that show, which is great. Yeah, really solid stuff. Slacking is definitely one of the better contemporary American harsh noise projects, bringing some really good textures and whatnots. So definitely recommend this. Next, we got this thing, which is Maria Conception Action by Femme Under Plastic, which is one of Richard Ramirez's many aliases. This is a tape. Well, it's actually 2 tapes, packaged under many layers of plastic. So you got, I'm not gonna undo everything because it's really like a whole project just to like access the tapes within here, but it's basically like a VHS case, and you got the plastic wrapped around the outside with all these kind of like blood splatters, and then on the inside there's another layer of plastic wrapped many times around 2 tapes. And they're just, I think C20s, like there's basically 4 10-minute tracks total on this thing, and it's somewhat in the vein of Harsh Noise Wall, but more on the kind of atmospheric, reverb-soaked, like ambient kind of side of things. Still very like loud and dense, but yeah, more like smoothed over, I guess, not as crackly and crunchy. Anyways, it's pretty good stuff. Wasn't blown away or anything, but it was really cool because Richard Ramirez played that festival I mentioned, and I got to talk to him directly and buy this from him. So that was just a great interaction to have because I've known about him and been a fan of his work for many years now. So that was really awesome. Then we got this, which is an 8-track. It's called Evocation Experiment Aleph by Yotzeret Shedim. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Who is a artist who I've also known about for a while. They make like YouTube videos talking about noise gear and whatnot. And yeah, they played that show, and I got to meet them and get this from them, which was cool. Obviously, I don't have an 8-track player. I can't play this, but it is on Bandcamp for free to listen to, so I just listened on there. But it's still cool to have this because, I mean, come on, like that's just a fun thing to say that you have, right? This is 4 tracks, totaling about a half hour. It's sort of in the vein of like the Rita's recent material, just very like sparse, minimalistic, kind of ambient noise wall, I guess, or like just crackly kind of textures. And then track 3 is a little bit more like heavy, bassy, almost power electronics, instrumental kind of oriented. But anyways, yeah, pretty cool stuff. Not a huge fan of it. I guess it's a little one-dimensional and straightforward. So I wasn't like super engaged, but it doesn't overstay its welcome, and the textures are enjoyable for the most part. So anyway, just a cool thing to have. Next, we got some absolutely insane packaging. This is a split between Breakdancing Ronald Reagan and I think it's Cloaca Sisters, which I believe is a project or maybe a group that Farrah Fawcett is in. That's who I bought it from. But anyways, let's just go through what's going on here. So there's this tag with this strange image. You got this bag with the tape in it here in a normal jewel case. You got a little packet of hot sauce, a bag of Doritos, and a douche. So yeah, insane packaging. One of the most ridiculous, just hilarious packages I've ever seen. You know I had to get it, right? But anyways, here's the tape. It's this nice purple thing, and this cool kind of see-through artwork printed onto the case itself. And yeah, the noise on here is really good. The breakdancing Ronald Reagan side is just really solid harsh noise interspersed with like funny samples and just silly tongue-in-cheek weird things. I don't know how to describe it beyond that. I don't remember too much about the other side of this, but I remember enjoying it thoroughly and feeling like the two sides matched each other pretty well with their kind of vibe and energy. So yeah, definitely recommend this, and this is just so insane. I'm never gonna eat these Doritos. Like, this is just part of the packaging. So, and next up we got this tape by Violent Pleasures that is packaged in a sock that I guess is supposed to be like cum stained. Definitely not real, I would hope, but that's the idea at least. Pretty crazy idea. So you reach inside the sock, and then you got the tape here. You got this little crumpled up thing from like a page from a porn magazine or something. Yeah, it's called Luminol. These guys were really good live, just like a trio making really good harsh noise, really heavy and crunchy and texturally satisfying, and that definitely carries over to this tape as well. Next, I got this split between Support Unit and Dosis Letalis. Two pretty big names within the harsh noise wall scene. Support Unit is the guy who runs Black Ring Rituals, who I talked about earlier, had the ether tape on. And yeah, this is a tape that is themed around, in the insert here it says, or not the insert, but the J card, you can fold it out. It says dedicated to all child soldiers in South Sudan. So I guess themed around this like war that's going on there. I don't know too much about that personally, but there's some samples before the walls that are related to that. And yeah, so pretty like cohesive with the aesthetic and the theme, I would say. The actual noise itself is nothing too special. It's just kind of standard harsh noise wall, but it's enjoyable for what it is. Then I got this split between Macronympha and Guilty Connector. Two pretty big names in harsh noise in general. Macronympha, you know, is always going to be really consistent and killer. And yeah, that's definitely the case with this tape as well. Guilty Connector also very good. So you kind of, you open it up and these things kind of like puncture through this part of the paper. And then it sort of like folds out to reveal the tape inside. So yeah, really solid harsh noise if that's what you're looking for. And then the final thing I got at that Noise Fest was this CD released on Love Earth Music that is a 4-way split between Gnawing Teeth, Mallard Theory, Vasectomy Party, and Takeshita. And yeah, it's just a bunch of noise. It's not super like consistent throughout in terms of like the quality of the noise and also like the levels. You kind of like change your volume when it goes between different artists, which is a little annoying. But yeah, it's not bad. There's some interesting ideas and some fun sounds in here, but a bit of a mixed bag overall, I would say. Here's the inside, some more info. So yeah. Next, we got Korea Counseling by GT ARP. This guy is a total legend to me because he puts on this like monthly experimental music festival in Philly, and I try to go every month and play. It's just like going to little house shows and whatnot for the most part, but sometimes they're in bigger venues too. Yeah, he's basically just running the Philly like experimental music scene, and I'm so grateful to him for all the shows that he's allowed me to play and do my wild stuff at. And what he does personally, sometimes he does like more noise-oriented stuff. This CD is more like, I guess you'd call it like slacker rock, like lo-fi sort of indie rock, but with a lot of weird electronic, like drum machine type stuff, and then just like weird synth noises and glitches and some kind of industrial elements worked in too. Very kind of like lo-fi, and I guess sort of like amateurish in its overall sound, but at the same time, there's some sounds here that I've not heard anywhere else and are really just kind of like crazy and off the wall. So a very entertaining listen throughout, I would say. Packaging isn't really too much to speak of, pretty straightforward. It's just written with a Sharpie on there. But yeah, GTRP is awesome guy. The next 3 albums I'm going to show are all by Peace and Love, which is a project that my friend Slater is a part of. Well, he's kind of like the core member, and then it's sort of like a rotating lineup outside of that. For these first 2, I think it's just him and a drummer. So this is the tape. It's called Now Glass Breaks to My Right, and I'm the Only One Laughing. I was actually at the show that I think the last track on here was recorded at. And it was a very fun show. It's basically harsh noise with just like spastic improvised drumming, driven by guitar through a bunch of pedals and some vocals as well. And yeah, just very chaotic, noisy, intense, sort of like classic Heijo Kaiden style a little bit. Pretty straightforward packaging and all that here. So yeah, this is just a tape of various live recordings. It's all right. I would say, actually seeing them live is a bit more of an intense, powerful experience than just listening to the recordings. But it's not bad for what it is. This next CD is pretty similar in that sense. It's mostly just recordings of them live. Some like photos here. Pretty nice, well done, kind of professional layout here, I would say. Yeah, pretty much similar in sound to the tape. And then the other one here, this says Heaven's Gate and Slater Clampett are Peace and Love. I guess Heaven's Gate is like a kind of shoegaze, noise rock type of band or something that kind of collaborated with them on this. I'm assuming that's them. You can't really make out much of what's going on there. But again, pretty fun design here. And I would say this is my favorite from the 3 Peace and Love releases. It's not just like live recordings. It feels more like thoughtfully put together. There's a lot of like weird little interludes with various strange recordings. But mostly it's just like noisecore, noise rock, just really heavy, extreme. But still like more like it's oriented in rock, more than just like straight up noise, even though it is very noisy. So anyways, really good stuff here. Next we got Trash Gods. This is another CD that Slater gave me. I guess this is a project that he was a part of at some point. I don't remember like what exactly he said about this and like what the specifics are, and I don't even remember really what it sounds like too much. It's like this very recycled kind of packaging. Like this clearly used to be just some other CD, and they just kind of put a bunch of stuff over it. There's these weird like playing card sticker things that it comes with. Like a fragile sticker, and yeah, I don't know, pretty fun little DIY packaging job here. But yeah, I just remember the sounding like kind of inconsistent, messy, like sort of amateurish noise and just weird experimental stuff. Nothing really to write home about, I guess, but kind of fun for what it is. And the next 3 CDs that I'm going to show are all by Defensive Wounds, which is a project I've seen live a few times, and they're also on that Denature Noise compilation that I showed earlier. They're sort of like a doom sludge metal type of band that incorporates a lot of harsh noise into their sound. So let's see. This is a collaboration they did between them and Stillborngasm, who I think is an artist who lives pretty close to me, although I've never really met them or connected with them much. But yep, this is the CD. This is one of the more like straight up noise oriented ones out of these 3, and I enjoy it for what it is. It's pretty good stuff. And then there is Cast Down Upon Jagged Rocks, which is a bit more on like the metal side of things, just like very heavy, dirty, and yeah, just like filthy sounding noise metal, basically doom sludge kind of stuff. Yeah, I enjoyed that one as well. This last one then is Enter Noise Hell, and this was definitely my least favorite of the 3, to be honest. I didn't really care for it. It's kind of like very thin noise with just like these kind of death metal vocals over top that I didn't really think fit in or like were mixed very well. Kind of lacking impact and just didn't really seem like it did what it was attempting to do very well. But yeah, generally speaking, very good band. Just wasn't really a big fan of this particular album. I definitely enjoyed their track that they submitted to my compilation very well as well. So yeah. Anyways, Defensive Wounds, cool project. Definitely recommend checking them out live if you get the chance. Next, we got a tape that switches things up a little bit. I've pretty much only been talking about noise and noise adjacent type stuff here, but this Magic Trellin is actually just like a straight up pop punk emo like power pop type of band. Though there still is a connection to noise because one of the members is Luke from New Grasping Machina, Mechanical Presence, all that. But yeah, in this band, they don't do any noise stuff. It's just straight up like, it kind of sounds like Jeff Rosenstock a little bit. So if you like that kind of thing, you might be into this. It's just a little like demo EP, just 4 songs. There's that. Yeah, it's, I don't know, it's a little inconsistent. It's definitely like demo quality. Like I feel like some of the vocals could have been improved with other takes maybe, and but there's definitely some nice like hooks and melodies and stuff here and there, so not bad. Next up, we got a few releases from Fusty that were put out in the same batch as that circuit board tape that I showed earlier. This is another one with crazy packaging. This is by a project called Blackwater Reaper, or actually it might be the other way around. But yeah, this is zip tied to a like magazine for a gun. I'm assuming it's real. I don't know, but either way, it's pretty crazy packaging. This is basically like war, like military themed power electronics. So you got a whole little manifesto going on there, I guess. A lot of like samples of related to those types of themes. And there's this insert here, and you got the lyrics, and then that. Yeah, again, I don't really know like the full backstory behind the events that are being talked about here or anything, so I can't really comment on that. But the noise, the power electronics is pretty well done for what it is. If you like just more like militant power electronics, I guess, you definitely should check that out. And then there is this tape by Selving. It has this weird like sticky gooey thing in it that was kind of like holding these things together, and a strange like sandpaper kind of texture on this thing in the back. However, I played this on a tape player that was kind of like falling apart, and it ended up like eating the whole tape, so it's all like, if I can get it out, yeah, just kind of falling apart. Unfortunately, I could only get through side A. When I started side B, it just like dismembered the whole thing. So maybe I'll try and fix it at some point, spool it back up, although I'm not sure if it'll actually play after all that. But it's too bad because I really enjoyed side A. It was some really heavy, solid, well-produced harsh noise. But anyways, I'll definitely be looking out for more from this project in the future, and I will be playing the tapes on players that actually work and don't destroy the tapes. Next one is Shuttlecock by Tinnitus Stimulus, which is a project that I've listened to some stuff from previously, and I've known about for a while, and just know them as I think it's just one guy, but it's a very solid cut-up harsh noise, kind of that spastic, like Sickness, I guess like Kazumoto Endo type of style. This release is cut-up noise, I would say, but it's not as harsh as previous ones. There are still some like kind of heavy, crunchy moments, but it's more focused on just weird, kind of warbly, like, I don't know, almost like aquatic type of textures. Just more like weird, interesting types of sounds rather than like full-on frontal, harsh assault, you know. Here's the tape. But yeah, I really enjoy this approach too. As much as I enjoy like the really spastic, harsh material, there's a lot of really interesting sounds going on here. And yeah, in general, Tinnitus Stimulus is definitely an artist to keep your eye out as far as modern noise. And the final tape from Fusty is The Strangulation of Consciousness by Skulking. This is I guess you'd call it like black ambient. It's like kind of like weird dark ambient music, but sort of informed by black metal aesthetics and some kind of sounds. It's kind of cool, like I guess like spray painted tape going on here. Let's see inside. I'm not a huge fan of this one, to be honest. It kind of feels like it's constantly like setting something up for like some kind of big impact and that never really hits. And I don't know. I guess if you're into like what is it, like Le Legion Noir, like that old '90s French black metal group, it's like kind of similar to like that type of stuff. Yeah, not a huge fan of this personally, but it's pretty interesting for what it is. Actually, I lied. There is one more from Fusty. That is this split between Frataxin and Straight Panic. Pretty cool collage art going on here. Straight Panic, another artist that I had on that various artist noise compilation that I mentioned earlier. There's a little insert here. Get the tape. Get the lyrics. The material on here is extremely harsh. It's basically very feedback oriented power electronics. Think of like classic Prurian kind of stuff, where it's just really high pitched screaming microphone feedback and then the actual screamed vocals over top. Honestly, really hard to listen to at times, especially on the Frataxin side. And that's coming from someone who's obviously very into harsh noise and power electronics, but it's like really, really like ear piercing and intense. But yeah, I mean, it's true classic power electronics in every sense of the word. So if you're into that kind of stuff and you want a bit of a torture session, I guess, with that, definitely recommend this. And finally, the last audio thing that I'm going to show off in this video is Knives, Violent Distillation. This is a compilation of everything released by this Knives project, which is the project between John Borges, I think that's how you pronounce that, of Pedestrian Deposit, and then Phil Blankenship of the Cherry Point. So two total harsh noise legends coming together to make harsh noise, and it's really good. It's just really solid, dense, crushing, really just well produced, well recorded harsh noise that should satisfy any fan of the genre. It's just really good material. And there's a little write-up by Sam McKinley of the Rita in here, so that's cool. And the final things that I will be showing off in this video are all the like printed matter, I guess, that's related to noise music in one way or another, that I've acquired. So first, we got this book, Japanoise, Music at the Edge of Circulation by David Novak. Obviously a book about noise and its kind of origins in Japan, and then kind of how that transferred over to America, and there's kind of this cross-cultural exchange between Japan and America. It goes really in depth as far as the history of noise, revealing a lot of little details that I was unaware of previously, and it's just kind of a very academic, like intellectual kind of writing, such that a lot of what he's talking about here sort of goes over my head, and I don't entirely understand what he's talking about all the time. But it's a really good read, really well written, and yeah, for any kind of like true noise geek who just wants to know more about like the origins of the genre, and just kind of how it progressed over time, and yeah, just hear someone really talk in depth who like really knows what they're talking about this kind of stuff. This is definitely a must read. Yeah, it's really, really good. I'm very, very glad to have it. It has a lot of like images too, throughout, of like, I don't know, just the various things that he's talking about, I guess. So yeah, definitely recommend this to any noise fan. Really, really good book. Next, we got Bar Hopping Towards Armageddon by Thomas Boetner. That's definitely not how you pronounce that. I'm sorry. I don't know. This is the guy behind Straight Panic, who I've mentioned a couple times in this video already. And this is just basically a little collection of short stories and just little bits of writing that he's done. It's very depressing and dark and bleak. A lot of it's focused on New Orleans, where he lives, or at least used to live. I don't know if he still lives there, but yeah, it's got this one section. Well, these are just like black pages, and then there's this one section where it's a bunch of like headlines from articles about various bad things happening in New Orleans, pretty much. And yeah, the rest is just various writings and stuff. Again, like very dark, definitely not for the faint of heart, but yeah, really well done for what it is, and very poetic and emotive, I guess. So yeah, good stuff. Next, we got A Wall of Text, issue number 2. This is a zine all about Harsh Noise Wall and just like Noise Wall in general, all the related kind of offshoots of that. It's just a collection of various writings by various authors. Um, it starts out with this basically list of like descriptors for noise wall. There's like a bunch of words that have been used in reviews of Harsh Noise Wall albums, which is pretty interesting. And then some things that are talking more about like the history of like ambient noise walls. One of the things in here, just and kind of going into different important releases and stuff. And then other ones are more like weird little short stories that are somehow inspired or have it something to do with noise wall. Some of it's kind of funny and clever, and some of it's just like more informative like that. But yeah, this is really cool. I'll definitely be on the lookout for future issues of this. It's put out by the guy behind Absent Erratum, which is one of the more interesting Harsh Noise Wall labels around. So yeah, any fan of that specific style should definitely look into this. And finally, we got issues number 1 and 2 of Rocker Zine, which is a noise zine put out by No Rent Records. And I've only read through issue 1 yet. Issue 2 literally just arrived. So this number 1 has an interview with Aaron Dillaway, who's pictured here on the front, and it's like full color. There's a lot of, I don't know, it's pretty cool stuff. It's definitely like a lot more effort and research and just like thorough kind of stuff going on here compared to maybe your typical noise zine. The writing like is a little bit weird how it's typed out. Like with interviews, it's like it's written exactly how the person said it, so there's a lot of like filler words like hey, like whatever, like, you know, and then there's not too much like punctuation. There's a lot of like run-on sentences, and it's kind of like hard to read at times because of that. But I guess it's an interesting, like very raw kind of approach to writing. So yeah, but anyway, really cool stuff. And then yeah, the issue 2, I haven't. I'm not going to show you the cover of this because it's not really appropriate for YouTube, but I haven't really looked through this one yet. But the only thing that I will mention here with issue 2 is I got a whole review of actually the tape I showed earlier, this one. I submitted a copy to one of the people, because basically what they're doing for the zine is they're letting anybody just send in an album for review, and they will review it in a future issue. Like, whether, you know, it might not be a positive review necessarily, but it will like be guaranteed to get reviewed if you send in something, which I think is pretty cool. It's a good way to just kind of spotlight lesser known artists, you know, that might not get attention otherwise. And I actually got a full page for my review of this album, which is I think longer than any of the other reviews in here, which is pretty cool. Got like a 3 out of 5, I guess. So it's, you know, they didn't love it, right? They had some criticisms, but still pretty cool that that happened, you know. And I just appreciate the exposure, I guess, and just more people knowing about it. So, anyways, yeah, No Rent, cool, rocker, yeah. Oh man, that was so much stuff. Thank you to everyone who actually watched this whole thing. I know it's very long. But I had a lot to talk about, collected a lot of things, and I'm going to keep doing so. So stay tuned for whatever I do in the future, I guess, with this channel. Yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.